Hello, this is Gary Hansford, and I'm usually at Prairie Day, and I demonstrate spinning. And they've asked me to come down and demonstrate today, give people an idea of what spinning wool is like. What I'm going to do first, after the wool has been sheared off the sheep and washed, is card it. And these are the cards that you use. You take the wool and draw it down across the face of the cards. That's called charging the cards. And then I take the other card and draw it across the face of the first one. I transfer it from the first one to the second. And then from the second to the first. And then I simply remove it from the cards. I've already started a thread on the bobbin of the spinning wheel. I turn the wheel, treadle with my foot. I draw the fiber out from the card's rolag and let the spin come back into my draw. And then the bobbin, as I release the spun thread, the bobbin pulls it in and winds it up on. The process that's taking place here is as I treadle and the large wheel moves around, the bobbin and flyer move. The flyer is this wishbone shaped piece here, and it has hooks along one side, and the yarn is carried in those hooks, and as it spins or travels around, the thread or the yarn itself spins, and that's the spin I let come back into the draw and make the yarn. I don't think Dr. Carver ever spun, but he did do crochet and other needlework. And so I feel like he'd be kind of fascinated with how yarn is made. Mary, George's mother, had a spinning wheel. And so there was probably spinning going on here at the farm. And Susan Carver probably also spun. That was pretty common in this area at that time. But other fiber can be spun as well. Silk, alpaca, cotton, linen, which were all used for clothing, and household textiles. One of the reasons I spin the wheel without any shoes on is because with my shoe, that makes it too heavy, and then the wheel turns erratically. Some people ask me, well, what happens if it breaks, or if you have to start your rolag ends? You just have the end here, you kind of lap it over the rolag and start again. Another question that people ask me is if you take the yarn off of the bobbin, won't it unspin? Well, a spun single will, but a single can be woven into fabric, which will set the spin. If it's going to be knitted or crocheted, then it needs to be plied. And what I do is I take two threads and I run them back through the spinning wheel, going the opposite direction that I spun them, and that plies them together. When you go to the store and buy yarn, sometimes it's in a skein that refers to 1 or 3 ply yarn. and that's what it's referring to. So I want to invite you to come to Prairie Days next year when we have it, and I'll probably be here on the front porch, and if you think of any questions, just remember them when you get here, okay? Thank you very much.